would have balance there, you know, although yeah, one's a spender and one's a saver. If there's real love there, you can negotiate and build. But if you got somebody that's a spender and don't want to listen to the saver, you know, that's a recipe for disaster. Whatever that, even if it's real love, that relationship is going to end. It doesn't matter. Anything but I mean, that's one. I think we're looking for red flags. You know, there are red flags
Yeah,
that you're looking
of
for,
course.
and
That's what
there
they're
are
asking
many,
us for. How do you find it?
red
What do you?
flags.
Yeah. What are some red flags? What are red flags? Well, but before we get to that,
Like I
let me answer this question from Snuggles. Remember, a good woman can have an emotional outburst at any time, and the man will pay for it because the law is on my side. Young men should take a chance with the unjust laws. They should be smart about how they do it. Snuggles, they don't just jump into a situation. It's not like the old days what we were talking about before. It's not business as usual anymore. You got to be very careful how you do things now, especially with the Me Too climate out there. You have to be very careful how you do things as a man. As a man is very, very touchy. And women think, well, how come men ain't approaching us no more? How come men ain't asking me out no more? How come this is it? Because men are risking a lot trying to get involved with a woman. Women are very dangerous people to get involved with if you don't know them properly. If you know you make one false move and a woman can have you sitting in a jail cell. It's not happening. Um, Friendsgiving, but you can be a good person with dysfunction. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm not saying that's the only mark. I'm just saying that's something that you need to pop your head up. Just like a man. A man doesn't have, I don't get along with my family. That's something that you need to keep your eye open on. I'm not saying that that person's a bad person, but there's definitely something you need to keep your eye on. Definitely something. Okay, let's move on. Nancy, I agree with the host vetting process and comments about rebellion. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Sister Nancy. Sister Nancy, again, what you described as a dangerous woman is just a woman not taking responsibility for her man's short-sightedness. No, sister, I'm not saying a woman is dangerous. I'm saying in the culture of where we are, a woman can you can just go out on a date with a woman and a woman can go straight to the police and say this man tried to touch me, and they can have you sitting in jail just on an accusation, or ruin your career, or get you thrown, or get you fired, or what. A woman can do that. I mean, that's the situation. See, women don't realize the real situation, the risk that men are taking by getting involved with you. You don't realize that, and that's why I think you're making these comments. uh, and the man leaving himself wide open becomes he wants to be continue to be with blinders. Men are waking up. That's the problem. Men are waking up. They're not. They're realizing, oh man, this culture, this cancel culture, this culture is so dangerous for men that I got to take it slower. That's why men are not asking women out on dates anymore, because they're like, I don't want to get myself caught up, and then next thing I know, the police are sitting there waiting at my job. So that's why they're trying to take it slower, like Brother Jarvis was saying. They're just taking it slower because they don't have no option to. Oh, got you, sister. Okay, finally got all we're all back on the same page. All right, Brother Jarvis. What we how do we what are some other characteristics of uh what are some other characteristics of picking a bad mate? Like how would you know? How do you know you picked a bad mate? How do you know? What are some of the signs that tell you, I stepped into the wrong place here?
Well, you read blind guy. You want to read that first before I comment?
Oh yeah, let me read the word. Blind guy, his wife, their life. Right as a young woman, right as a young woman, you don't realize how your actions can be to men. These conversations are helping everyone to become aware. Yeah, just become aware of the situation, because a lot of times women don't realize the high risk that men are. A man that comes up to you and asks you out, a woman could just say, "Hey, I'm offended. I'm going to the police. This man did something to me." And I mean, look at a perfect example is Governor Cuomo out there in New York. I mean, they got this guy on just uh, you know making jokes, touching people on the stomach, on the back. I mean, they got this guy hemmed up. They finally forced him out. You know what I mean? All over. I mean, now when he came to this cup and breast thing, that was bad. But I mean, most of the stuff was really not that bad. And so that's my point. It's very dangerous for men, dangerous environment for men, especially if you're trying to ask a woman out, talk to a woman. It's a toss up how the woman's going to take it. It depends on how the woman's going to take it. You don't never know. You know what I mean? Not like the old days, like me and Brother Jar were talking about last week, where you talk to a woman, you say something she don't like, and she just be like, "Man, forget you," and walk away from you, or she tell you, cuss you out or something. It was a different time then. Now, girl might not say nothing to you, and then you go to work, and then there's a note on your desk. Meet us in HR, and then you go down to HR, and they say, "We gotta let you go, partner, because you said something to Joni, and Joni now she feels like she can't come to work because of you being here." Let me see what Nancy said. Nancy said something else here. But men shouldn't ask women out in the midst of working with her. I agree. That's why I'm always telling men not to do that, Nancy. I agree. Brother Jarvis, me and him disagree on that a little bit. But I agree. And under no circumstance should you be asking women out on work time. Now, if you work with her and it's after work, it's after 5 o'clock, then, maybe you can say, "Hey, you know what, you want to go grab something to eat or something like that." Then that's different. But nothing while you on those clock hours, nothing, zero. Let me see what Blind Guy, Brother Jarvis, everybody's hitting us up. Blind Guy, his wife. Dang, I missed answering, but yes, as Snuggles, I believe the law's in my favor as a woman, and I agree with Nancy that pretty women get the benefit of the doubt, unfair but typical. Yeah, that's how I go. That's how I go. You know what I'm saying? That is just how it goes. Unfortunately, most men are uh, enthralled by the beauty of a woman because that's what most of us want. So we will make excuses for more beautiful women. We make more excuses for them. And unfortunately, when you're making all those excuses for beautiful women, it doesn't put them in a position where they have to fix their personality and make it more amicable. So they just get more, it just makes them push the envelope farther because they go, "Well, why should I change and be a better person when I'm getting what I want and I can make people bow down to me?" Right? Remember the devil said, "I'm made of fire. Why should I treat this man better than me? I'm made of fire." Or like this sister said, "I'm made of fire," right? I'm better than these men. So I'm gonna take them for all their money. But I see this having a bad ending for this sister. I see it as a bad ending for her. Horrible ending for her. Anyway, let's get back to our topic. Our topic was what? The dangers of picking the wrong mate and how to avoid it. We picking the wrong mates. We can see it. Let me give you some statistics. Let me give y'all folks some statistics. This is from the Census Bureau. Black men were more likely to be married than white men until 1960. Till 1960, after the 1960s, the number of unmarried black men, rose sharply. Why is that? Is that a result of picking the wrong mates? A lot of these guys getting divorced or they having baby mamas and they're just saying this girl's crazy. But why are you having baby mamas? Like JP said on her live stream, get a condom. Get a condom. That's all you have to do is get a condom. If you're gonna have premarital sex. Now, those of us like myself are saying, man, you should really cut down on the premarital sex. If we just did that, man, we would stop having all these babies, unplanned babies. But look at this. White men have pretty much stayed the same across the board. But since the 1960s, black men, in 1950, it was 7% of black men were unmarried. In 2010, 25% of black men are not married. And this is from the Census Bureau. So it ain't my statistic, it's from the Census Bureau. Let's take another look at a statistic. Black women more likely to be married than white women until 1970. 1970. Okay, in 1970, 7% of black women were not married. In 2010, 27% of black women are not married, or never been married, rather, I should say. Not married, but never been married. I mean, what's happening? Is this a result of picking the wrong mate?